Dennis takes the victory!
Woohoo! Yes!
Jake Dennis takes a dominant win.
World champions, baby!
2024 Diriyah E-Prix was a pretty special one for me. Biggest reason was getting that race win margin by 13 seconds, which is the second largest in Formula E history. I was 2 tenths short of breaking the record. It was obviously a great moment to have my first win of that year, but ultimately to come so short to break that record was pretty upsetting once I found out.
Then it's the reigning world champion Jake Dennis, third on the grid at the head of the second row.
Nevertheless, I think that whole weekend was a bit of a roller coaster.
Let's go dueling in the desert. The 2024 Diriyah E-Prix is underway as they drag down towards the first corner. Side by side for the Andrettis as well. Nato versus Jake Dennis as they try to challenge and jostle for position.
The way we took attack, the way we took the strategy was pretty smart.
Dennis, is he going to go for the attack mode next time around? Dennis goes into attack mode. He's going to pull this one off and clear off into the distance now because he's got 50 kilowatts more power underneath him. Now the question is, can Dennis and Andretti turn this race lead into the victory?
We managed to get the overcut on Mitch and Jev.
Give me the gap to Jev, exit T17 each lap. Gap to Jev 1.8.
Let's see how calm Jake Dennis is.
Yeah, it's really important to be leading at the right time, and we had a lot of energy, and ultimately once I finished that second attack it was just about making no mistakes, getting fastest lap, getting that all important 25 points.
Dennis takes the lead and takes the victory, and it is Jake Dennis who takes his first win of the season. Commanding drive by Jake Dennis. Once he timed that attack mode to perfection, he was able to just clean up. Amazing job from Jake Dennis and the Andretti team to take the spoils then here this evening.
The podium there is pretty special. The guys will clip a photo of me in it now, but like jumping off the car with my special helmet design as well was pretty cool, and one of my favourite photos of my Formula E career as well. '22 London, my first ever Grand Slam. It's the first one I ever achieved. Grand Slam is basically pole position, race win, fastest lap, and lead every lap. Honestly, one of the more simple races I've had in Formula E, where you just try and hit your marks.
All 5 lights are on, and we go green in London. It's a very quick lights out, and it's a very good start. Dennis comes across, covers the inside. Dennis holds the lead.
It was just an incredible race. The pace what we had all weekend was pretty awesome. We actually went on to go and do pole position the following day as well, which made it even sweeter. It was a really well-performing car, no mistakes from my side, and just really trying to put the perfect weekend together.
Jake Dennis leading the way.
Just going serenely about his job.
He has absolutely bossed this. And the crowd are on their feet for Dennis as he comes through, up into the final couple of corners. Qualified on pole position. Drove away from the rest of the field, and Jake Dennis takes a dominant win in London.
That's how you win a Formula E race. Get it!
Woo! What a way to celebrate afterwards, do it in front of my family, my friends, all of my fans as well.
Oh my God, that was absolutely amazing. It was incredible to do it 2 years in a row now. Unbelievable.
Really dominant, really bossed it. And he's going to emerge in front of the crowd here at the XL. And he will be on the top step of the podium. Takes his first win of the season with a win at his home race in London.
It's really hard to come across days like this in Formula E where you basically just dominate the entire day, and yeah, I definitely grabbed it with both hands. My first ever win was at the Valencia E-Prix in 2021. It was ever my 6th race in Formula E, so still pretty new at this stage, and there was a lot of talk about how this race should unfold. It was really the first sort of peloton race what we've ever experienced in Formula E, and I hadn't scored many points prior to this race. I wasn't that high up in the championship, and there was a lot of pressure on me. I was racing for BMW Andretti at the time, and I was really there to try and do the best job possible. Qualifying was a damp, drying track, but we managed to perform at our absolute best and get pole by 8 tenths margin, which was pretty cool. And then, yeah, the race itself, there was a lot of strategy behind it all. It's the best way to do it. And ultimately, we ended up going the really controversial way, which was basically leading the whole race.
Up at the front, it is still Jake Dennis. What does Jake Dennis do? Does he give up the lead? It's like a cycling peloton. They're all in a line here, getting the benefit of being behind the car in front.
Which was kind of unheard of at the time, and no one had ever done it before. The communication between me and my engineer, Loic, at the time was very good, and then there was a small incident behind me.
Does he get a hit? Yeah, he gets a hit from Nato.
Which allowed me to create this 1.5 second gap.
Dennis has checked out, hasn't he? I mean, Dennis is doing a super job up at the front. 1.8 seconds ahead of Nato.
People don't often know about, on the final lap of the race, my engineer told me to slow down by 1.5 seconds.
It's going to be close to being the penultimate lap of the race. We might be coming through to start the final lap in a moment.
Jake, we need to slow down the pace by 1 second in this sector, 1 second. And we have a flat out last lap.
Which meant the race actually went to 1 lap shorter, which made it basically a flat out race.
Dennis onto the final lap of the race. It's going to be flat out between Dennis, Nato and Lotterer in the top 3 positions.
But trying to judge 1.5 seconds in a race car with no delta or anything is quite difficult to do.
Definitely last lap, boys, yeah?
Yeah, definitely last lap, flat out.
Go, go, go! Vamos is the message to Jake Dennis.
Just no mistakes, trying to keep it on the track and yeah, get my first ever win.
All the talk coming into Valencia was you don't want to be leading this race. That's the worst possible place to be until the end. Jake Dennis has proved them all wrong. From start to finish, lights to flag, and it's victory in Valencia for Jake Dennis. His first win in ABB FIA Formula E.
Absolutely incredible. Such a relief as well to really get your first win on the board in Formula E.
Honestly, how we've just led that whole race, from what everyone was saying entering that race, was unbelievable. The boys in the factory and in the garage did an incredible job with that strategy call on that final lap. And yeah, I am so happy.
From that moment then, I had all the confidence in the world, and my championship actually really sort of took off and we came close to becoming champion in my rookie year. A very special moment and a big relief in my career that I can actually survive inside of Formula E. And yeah, here we are now, 6 years later, looking back on what was quite a stressful moment for me in my career of Formula E at that stage. The Rome E-Prix, the penultimate round of the championship winning year. What an event. I remember it just being the hottest day on earth as well. Rome had a heat wave, it was around about 38 degrees. I just remember being on the grid, sweating, and just wanting to get the race over and done with. And ready to go. You know, it was my second ever Grand Slam. I managed to get all the points possible. It was a difficult weekend because this is like basically the hunting ground of a Jaguar powertrain. You know, it's a lot of stop-start corners and their traction is untouchable right now. And what didn't make it easy, in FP1, left front suspension just randomly broke on the outlap, which meant I had no practice, so qualifying was super tough. On Sunday, we actually started pole position.
E-Prix is underway and it's a good start from Jake Dennis. Immediately crosses over to try and thwart the charge of Nick Cassidy in towards turn 5 and 6. Down through, there we go. Great start though from Jake Dennis. He manages to lead the way.
I kind of went there thinking if I can just try and survive this event with a couple of top 5s, then it's a big win and I'll go into London with maybe like joint points. Ended up completely flipping it round and gaining on all of the Jaguar powertrains.
Okay, we can commit to plan B. Plan B.
Clearly they are in control. That was a confident message from his engineer there, so I think he knows what they want to do.
The race itself was going smoothly. You know, I was leading, not much really happening at the time, and then there was an incident between Mitch and Nick Cassidy, which were my 2 title rivals. Ended up making contact, quite a big crash actually.
Look at Nick Cassidy now, all over the back here of Jake Dennis. Dennis going defensive on the run up in towards turn 7, side by side, there you go. Cassidy on the outside. Oh, Mitch Evans go! And over onto the back of Nick Cassidy. The 2 title protagonists collide.
And at this point, it was just like, oh my God, it's Christmas Day. Like, I'm about to score 25 points over my main rivals. No one else is in the top 10 who was in my title contention. And that really like gave me so much momentum going into London. To be honest, to avoid that crash with Nick and Mitch was centimeters. You know, if you look back at the onboards and the videos, Mitch missed my rear wing by absolutely nothing. And I just remember I came over the radio and said to Sean, like, I've survived. Like, I was in shock that both my main rivals had crashed and I was now leading. I knew I was going to score a lot of points. Then went on to lead every lap, fastest lap.
That's fastest lap, we can confirm.
Keep me posted on fastest lap threat.
You've got it by a mile, mate.
ended up winning by 3 or 4 seconds, made the champagne taste even sweeter when stood on the top step.
Through into the final sector, Jake Dennis, what a drive it has been from the Avalanche Andretti driver. Through into the final series of corners he comes, controlling this race, the first ever lights the flag victory, led every single lap, and he comes across the line to win round 14 of the ABB FIA Formula E World Championship.
Woohoo! Yeah, baby! Ah, yes!
What a drive from Jake Dennis. Absolutely perfect. That is exactly what the Briton needed to do at a critical point in the championship.
Remember the big boss being there as well, Michael at the time, and it was great to share it with him as well. Surprise, surprise, my #1 moment is the championship win, season 9. You know, we put in so much hard work into that year, but also the years before, and a huge relief more than anything. I didn't realize how much I wanted it, which is strange to say, but just an incredible moment. The race itself was super intense. It was one of the most difficult races I've ever experienced in Formula E.
We are ready to go. 5 lights on then. Round 15 of the ABB FIA Formula E World Championship is underway. In towards turn 1. This is where it's squeezed up, and it's an Envision 1-2, but Dennis is going to get his elbows out to the left-hander. Can he go through? No, side by side as he comes through in towards the daylight for the first time. Jake Dennis into third. Well, that is not the start that Jake Dennis needed.
We had red flags, safety cars, stoppages, so it wasn't so easy.
Drivers now into the pits, some getting out of the car, including Jake Dennis as well. Right, so Dennis then into pit lane, now just out the back having a quick chat with a member of his team. Clear frustration on the body language there of Jake Dennis.
But it made, you know, crossing the line, seeing the fireworks go off, see your name in the big electric banner saying Jake Dennis World Champion is something I'll never forget, and it's just the emotions which run through you at that time is something which I'll cherish for a long time.
Jake Dennis comes across the line, and he becomes the ABB FIA Formula E World Champion of Season 9 here in London.
Yeah, just the emotions when I crossed the line was just honestly like shouting and noise. I don't even know what the words were.
World champions, baby! Ah!
The team's emotions, watching it back, was a real nice thing to see how much it meant to them.
Boys, the emotions I feel right now, oh my God.
Just the whole year itself was incredible. You know, 11 out of 15 podiums, 5 fastest laps, pole positions, broke basically every record there was to break. Yeah, championships in years like that are super rare to come by, and we really exploited everything out of the package we had. So to go ahead and sort of be the underdog made it even more special. And incredible year, incredible moment, something I'll never forget until the day I die. But yeah, it still gives me goosebumps now talking about it and reliving that. And yeah, hopefully one day I get to do it again.